Have you ever felt exhausted trying to control situations that are out of your control? Continuously forces us into tense circumstances when we are enmeshed in other people's opinions, unrealistic expectations, and disappointment when things don't go as planned. We become so helpless that we create invisible barriers, pressures, and entangling ourselves in a never-ending loop of overanalyzing. But is it possible to find peace and let go of all these mental obstacles? Stoic philosophy, with its age-old and profound knowledge, provides us with all clearer route involves a delicate release and the art of not caring. Stoicism doesn't teach us to accept or let go of situations beyond our control, cold or uncaring about life, but rather it enables us to perceive things with clarity, uses the 7 principles to keep our hearts healthy and our brains open. Through Stoicism, you will eventually learn how to live unrestricted and freely. These guidelines will help you avoid uncontrollable situations, learn how to maintain self-control in any situation, and cherish the present moment. To overcome obstacles, let's embark on this spiritual adventure together. Discover inner tranquility and become an expert in the art of letting go, a path. The primary control over what's happening is both demanding and filled with freedom. Take charge of your inner self. Have you ever felt exhausted trying to handle every part of life? Only to discover that a lot of things are outside of your control, expectations, judgments, and we frequently experience stress and anxiety due to life's pressures. Stoicism is a way of thinking that calms our hearts and continuously agitates our thoughts. It has persisted for millennia, but it does not instruct us on how to leave the planet. However, the primary rule is to live in it more comfortably and peacefully. Stoicism teaches us the essence of true freedom. Even if life is chaotic and full of unforeseen circumstances, the only thing we genuinely possess self-control over our thoughts, feelings, and Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens, but your reactions." However, how you respond to it is what counts. This straightforward yet powerful statement opens fresh outlook on life. We can achieve calm without controlling everything around us. We only need to manage how we respond to it. We've all experienced moments when it felt like everything was beyond our control. Our control, a damaged relationship, a poor career, or just an unpleasant comment. In those situations, we often overthink what others think or do. Ignoring the fact that we can only alter ourselves, we ask ourselves, is there anything I can change? The lesson here is that I can only control how I react to other people's actions. Stoicism and inner tranquility are not the result of mastering the external environment, but rather Jesus even advocated for us to control our inner selves and not worry about the future. The future will be consumed by its own preoccupations as it faces numerous challenges every day. This insight serves as a helpful reminder that worrying about the future is unnecessary. Instead, we should concentrate on immediate actions, as there aren't many. We must focus on the unattainable. By taming ourselves, we can achieve serenity. As a real-world example, take professional athletes who are unable to only weather and opponent performance are under their control. Control is their attitude, their attention, and how they respond to external stimuli. Similarly, in everyday life, these elements determine who wins and who loses. When faced with obstacles, stop and consider what I can manage and how I can respond to keep my heart and mind intact. Marcus Aurelius is considered one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. According to philosophers, you control your thoughts and are unaware of external circumstances. This, and you'll discover that these words are more than just philosophy, which serves as a manual for leading a robust, independent existence in the face of innumerable events, changes, and losses occur beyond our control. But we have the capacity to. The secret to conquering is to master our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, things without losing our ability to control our inner serenity, which is not just when we learn to let go. It becomes a concept and a way of living. By letting go of what is out of our grasp and concentrating on self-control, we find this is a type of freedom that remains unaffected by external events. Mental liberation from pointless anxieties and the strains that life might occasionally inflict on the second shoulder embraces the present. Have you ever paused in the middle of a task? Accept the present. The busyness of life made me question if I was truly living in this moment. Despite its simplicity, the question reveals an important truth about how we often spend a significant portion of our lives. Pursuing far-off objectives, fostering aspirations for a better future, or permitting to allow regrets and grief over the past to consume us. When we are lost in these thoughts, life's most valuable moment slips away. Like sand grains falling to the bottom of an hourglass, they vanished in silence. Philosophy has repeatedly warned us against this stoicism, but it has never returned. Is a way of life rather than merely a dry collection of concepts that enables us to identify the emperor Tai, the philosopher Marcus Aurelius, and the importance of the present. He warned us that death looms, and that we shouldn't pretend to live for 10,000 years, over you when you're still alive and have the ability to. These statements are a strong invitation to live rather than a terrifying threat. Embrace each moment completely, as the present is the only thing that matters. Why do we frequently waste the present only to recognize its worth later? We're already drowning in regret over what went wrong. Choices that resulted in missed chances or concerns about the future might not even occur, and in doing so, we neglect the most valuable item. Instead of hating or blaming his fate, consider Jesus as he faced death in the present. With calm and compassion, Jesus accepted everything, understanding that every minute of life is valuable, and every moment is a chance to show love. He urged us to forgive and live life to the fullest, rather than teaching us to fear the future. We should have faith in God's plan and cherish the time we have in the modern world. There are frequent phone notifications and other diversions in the world. Emails, social media, and work all distract us from the here and now, dulling there should be a genuine interaction between you and the environment. We may be sitting indoor families, but our thoughts are straying to incomplete assignments or plans for. This not only separates us from our loved ones tomorrow, but it also leads to, in reality, we can only miss the thrill of the now. Imagine yourself strolling through a woodland with a light wind blowing through your hair. If you are not truly present, warm sunlight filters through the leaves. Instead of focusing on the present moment, let your mind wander to future worries that you might overlook. The wonder of nature and the tranquility it provides at times like this are transient yet immensely valuable. They serve as the cornerstone of genuine spirituality. Peace. Remember that life is fleeting and valuable, especially while you are still alive. You only have this moment. Therefore, treasure it as much as Jesus and the Stoic philosophers did. We teach because we can only find genuine spiritual liberation in the present. Sincere happiness in life. Let's get on to the third secret. But first, I have a question for you. Have you ever had the impression that life is a river that flows, continuously evolving, and despite our best efforts, we are unable to maintain what has in life. Change, no matter how minor, is unavoidable. Unexpected, occasionally bringing joy but also bearing sorrow and loss. We frequently fear change because it requires us to leave our comfort zone and confront the "have you ever considered the possibility that life is changing in that very way?" Creating opportunities for us to develop and become, embrace change. Marcus Aurelius, the third strongest person, accepts change in his meditations. Inspire us to find a way to cherish every event, as well as to accept it. Every change presents a chance for us to develop, but why does it frequently result in we experience dread and worry because we are inherently accustomed to safety and security? Stability in the face of change, whether it be a job change, loss, or other. When faced with difficulties, we often feel helpless and aimless. However, these are the exact times when we have nothing left to hold on to. That Stoicism serves as a reminder that change presents a chance to develop and overcome limits. For instance, in your daily life, you might have had a job loss or some difficulty in the early moments. Dread is unavoidable, but if you look more closely, you'll notice that every transition presents new opportunities. Maybe losing your job helps. This is how Stoic philosophy helps you find your actual passion or offers you the opportunity to learn new abilities. It teaches us to face hardship by accepting and embracing it instead of fighting change to improve oneself, is a wonderful example of accepting shifts. Michelle Obama, the former US First Lady, made the discovery during her travels. Michelle was a gifted lawyer who had a successful career before entering the White House. She worked diligently while attending Princeton and Harvard, but her life took a different turn. After her husband, Barack Obama, decided to run for president, Michelle faced a significant transition as a lawyer and educator when she assumed the role of First Lady. In addition to abandoning her work, Lady had to adjust to a public position that comes with a lot of demands and pressure. Yet instead of fighting or grumbling, Michelle accepted this shift with poise and assurance. The First Lady's position became a platform for positive change. Let's focus on areas such as women's rights and health education. Her education campaign and the Move anti-obesity program became iconic. Michelle Obama famously stated that there is a long-lasting beneficial impact. Success lies not in your achievements, but in your capacity to face and adapt to. Her story demonstrates that embracing change is more than merely conquering obstacles, but also about discovering purpose and opportunity in new circumstances, even if they force us to step outside of our comfort zone. When we accept the reality that its transformations are a continuous flow, recognize that transitioning from one state to another does not result in any loss. To put it another way, embracing change not only relieves anxiety, but additionally, we would love to find a way to discover inner calm in the midst of life's endless chaos. Hear your opinions and observations about these Stoic ideas when things change in life. Do you suddenly decide to accept and adjust, or do you decide to battle against the unchangeable? Enough self-assurance to estimate your response. Leave a comment below and participate in the conversation. Embrace the inherent, understand the natural cycles of life cycle. Les, don't expect things to go your way. Instead, hope that they occur as they do, and you'll follow this idea to the letter. This serves as a reminder that everything in the cosmos has recurrent and unchangeable laws. The rules range from the cycle of day and night to the change of the 4 seasons. Every person's life's highs and lows are obvious expressions of the we need to embrace and incorporate the natural CES into the natural cycles. This is not only evident in everything, but also in our own lives, from birth to maturity. Experience both happiness and sadness as you age and eventually pass away at every stage of life is an essential component of this cycle, yet many of us frequently overlook it because we want to. People often cling to their youth in order to preserve joyful memories, but this is exactly what this opposition to the natural cycle causes us to struggle and become exhausted. Professional sportsmen's careers serve as a perfect example of success in real life. Peak, but they are unable to sustain that performance indefinitely. Consider football. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are two celebrities who have undergone amazing experiences, phases in their professional lives, but physical constraints and aging ultimately force them to acknowledge that their prime will not endure forever. What counts is how they respond to this reality, not by rejecting or harboring resentment, but by discovering how to adjust and relish every phase of life, by acknowledging they have discovered serenity and a greater sense of purpose in accepting life's natural cycles. Jesus also instructed us on the natural world in both our professional and personal lives. Circle of life, and when he told his followers that he would soon die, did not show resistance or fear, but rather understood that his death was a component of a larger scheme, the road to salvation, and he acknowledged rebirth as a necessary component of life's cycle, thereby providing he significantly influences the lives of his followers, even if a single grain of wheat falls short. When it falls to the ground and dies, it only produces one seed. Jesus once remarked, "Many seeds," reminding us that every ending is also the start. We must ask ourselves if we can accept that life is a sequence of new cycles. Natural cycles in which joy and grief are entwined, where achievement and we can accept and understand failure as an inevitable aspect of the path. Through these cycles, we can liberate ourselves from needless stress and lead more. Since life is constantly changing, we must accept this and adapt to it. Adjusting to these cycles, we can achieve inner serenity. Follow Jesus' teachings and the Stoic idea of living in balance with nature. We are halfway through the session today, and your presence is truly appreciated. Inspiration for us as we proceed on our mission to spread awareness of the true values of Stoicism, so please Please distribute these teachings to your loved ones by sharing this video, or write a statement that says, "I cherish my life," if you're ready for the next 5 lessons on this journey. Seek development despite adversity. The 5th step is to search for growth. Adversity is a part of life. We will all encounter it at some point. Difficulties, setbacks, and even failures. But it's frequently in these are the darkest times when we have the chance to develop and get stronger. As the philosopher Seneca famously stated, adversity tests the gold, and fire tests the Stoicism's core lesson is to embrace hardship, not be avoided, but rather a chance to improve oneself, and consider how Jesus Christ surmounted numerous challenges during his life. Hardships along the way, including being misinterpreted, deceived, and finally enduring death on the cross, yet refusing to place blame or attempt to avoid hardship. Jesus accepted it and faced it head-on with complete calm and compassion. He not only showed spiritual fortitude while imparting a useful lesson to us. Hardship tests our faith, love, and compassion. Bible-backed Jesus said that everyone who doesn't bear their cross, this is more than just a request for sacrifice. You cannot follow me and be my disciple. A reminder that we can grow and become stronger in adversity if we are. How can we change if we are prepared to confront and overcome it? The narrative of Bethany is a wonderful example of overcoming adversity to grow in modern life. At the age of 13, Hamilton became a professional surfer in 2003. A shark attacked Bethany while she was surfing off the coast of Hawaii, resulting in her loss. A severe physical and psychological loss in her left arm, particularly for someone who is enthusiastic about an activity like surfing that demands skill and balance. For many, this hardship would have meant the end of their goals and careers, but not for Bethany. Instead of letting this circumstance get to her, she adjusted to it. Months after the disaster, she not only recovered her new physique, but also resumed her love of surfing. Also rose to become one of the world's best professional surfers, earning several. Bethany once said, "I'm losing my awards and accolades. Arm never prevented me from pursuing my passions. On the contrary, it strengthened me and more resilient," and her narrative demonstrates how to turn hardship into she transformed suffering, and loss into she has shown growth in both her spirit and her athletic prowess. Her tale of tenacity has motivated millions of people worldwide, serving as a reminder that hardships and setbacks are not the end, but rather the basis for development and rejuvenation. Although not everyone can readily consider hardship a chance for personal development, we frequently succumb to fear, rage, or despair when confronted with challenges. But consider whether can we change the hardship itself, or is it our mindset or method of facing it? One of the greatest Stoic thinkers, Epictetus, believed that hardship is what really matters. Told us that although we have no control over the outside circumstances surrounding us, we may regulate how we respond to events. Therefore, in times of hardship, the most crucial, the goal is to learn to embrace suffering as a natural part of life, not to escape it. Through trials on our growth journey, we can train our minds and hearts to become people who are more resilient, understanding, and caring. In the end, adversity is not only a challenge to overcome, but also a teaching opportunity. When we strive for growth in the face of hardship, we fail to learn and grow from life. Not only should you cultivate a strong spirit, but you should also learn the actual significance, recognize and embrace faith. Life number 6. Recognize and embrace your faith. As Epictetus, the philosopher, once remarked, "Instead of hoping that things would go the way you want them to, you will be content if everything goes as planned, because it serves as a reminder. Fighting fate only leads to hardship and unhappiness, no matter how." Accepting that terrible things are an inevitable part of life is the first step toward inner peace. Look into Nelson Mandela's life, who spent 27 years in prison. Mandela accepted his circumstances in a South African prison rather than lamenting his lot in life or allowing injustice to overwhelm him. With strength, he realized that while he couldn't change the unpleasant reality, could have influenced how he responded to it. Accepting fate does not imply abandoning hope or endeavor, but overcoming hardship by finding serenity and utilizing it to grow stronger after gaining his freedom. Mandela not only became the president of South Africa, but also the country has transformed from a racially divided nation to a symbol of resilience on a global scale. The Stoic school of thought does not advocate for a passive acceptance of fate. It also emphasizes that a deep understanding of life's challenges leads to acceptance. Jesus Christ's life is a potent illustration of accepting fate in accordance with natural rules. Jesus faced hardship when he chose not to fight against betrayal and death on the cross, or terror, but Jesus accepted his sacrifice with affection, and "Father, please pardon them, as they have no idea what they are doing." A complete faith in God and a deep acceptance of his fate, demonstrating maintain a calm attitude throughout hardship by acknowledging and embracing destiny. We not only find serenity amid difficulties, but we also turn hardship into an opportunity. Acceptance of fate is not a chance for development and maturity, submission, but the soul's release from pointless anxieties, enabling us to, in the face of hardship, do you manage to live freely and peacefully despite life's continuous changes? Do you accept it as a part of life, or do you resist it and let fear control you? Let's exchange first-hand accounts of conquering obstacles as you leave your opinions in the comments section below. Remember, there are always opportunities for those who are willing to participate in any trial. The seventh step involves reflecting on a fundamental concept. Consider Stoic philosophy's tenet is not just to pause and reflect on life, but it is also a chance to evaluate our behavior closely and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Learn from the past, as Stoicism highlights the daily reflection exercise in which we draw demonstrates self-awareness. We have learned lessons from the past that help us develop and get stronger. Spiritually, have you ever taken the time to consider how you've lived your life? Do you frequently go quickly through obstacles and accomplishments without pausing to ask questions? What have I learned from this? We run the risk of becoming carried away without introspection. Unaware of what we are truly experiencing, we navigate life's currents like a ship without a compass. If we continue in this direction, Marcus, we won't be able to tell where we're going. One of the greatest Stoic philosophers, Aurelius, left us the priceless treasure of his reflections and ideas. In this book's Meditations, Marcus offers not just insightful ideas on how to, he said that he not only lives, but also shares instances in which he took time to reflect about his life. These texts serve as a reminder and self-evaluation tool rather than a showcase for his wisdom. Marcus teaches us to polish ourselves in a chaotic and unpredictable environment. Only by living intentionally and approaching life with tolerance and understanding can Marcus find inner serenity through reflection. Reflecting on external events is not as important as constantly analyzing oneself. He questioned his actions, emotions, and reactions to life's challenges, difficulties. During these times of introspection, Marcus consistently went back to the fundamental Stoic idea is to only control what you can. Remain brave and let go of things that are out of your control. Adversity. Marcus's ability to overcome significant challenges serves as a clear example of this perspective. As the ruler of the Roman Empire, he faced numerous threats, wars, and diseases. Despite having absolute authority, Marcus never grew haughty. He frequently paused to consider his obligations, and he discovered, via leadership daily reflection, that everything in life comes. Happiness and misery are fleeting. What matters most is how we can discover that by observing and responding to what occurs. Reflection encompasses more than just reviewing the past. It also involves planning for the future. Marcus found calm amidst the chaos of his life through regular introspection and self-evaluation. Given the pressures of today's environment, we can all use this technique. Let's pause to consider our lives and the challenges we face. Take note of everything, and then, like Marcus Aurelius, discover the way to genuine calm. Life is a journey that is full of obstacles, setbacks, and disruptions, but final results. Marcus Aurelius's Stoic philosophy demonstrates how to find serenity in the midst. Every Stoic principle provides a pathway to a more peaceful existence. By avoiding concentrating on the present, embracing change, and only thinking back on oneself and life when we learn to let go, we can move more freely and without restrictions. Avoid unnecessary distractions by following these 7 guidelines. The way to true happiness is to learn to live in peace and not worry about things that are beyond your control. Independence and enduring enjoyment in life. If this video was useful to you, please don't remember to use the like button to show your support for the channel and leave a comment below. To disseminate the admirable ideals of Stoicism, leave a comment and forward the movie to your friends and family. Philosophy, and don't forget to follow the channel to avoid missing any more Stoic living and personal videos. Growth receives updates as soon as we release a new version. We always have worthwhile and engaging stuff in store for you. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the upcoming videos.